Hey guys, it's Leilani for God. I'm back with another video. So in this one, I wanted to talk to you guys about some video that I watched like 2 nights ago. There is a YouTuber. He goes by the name of Davin Lewis. He has a long history in the music industry, specifically working with Diddy and Bad Boy Records, as well as some other industry executives that Jaguar Wright has exposed during her time on YouTube. So this guy has been kind of shadowing or following Jaguar around social media, and his perception of events is not the same as Jaguar's perception of events. And so now that he's been basically using Jaguar for content for the past couple of years, he is now at a point where he's basically, I guess, turning on Jaguar, like discarding her. But I feel like the same way that I told you guys in my last video about um what are their names? King Payne and Sean Davy Way, that they never liked Jaguar. They were just using her for content, and the purpose of that is to generate income. Okay, cash apps, memberships, um super chats. Like there's so many different ways that they monetize off of Jaguar, and they've made over 100 videos about her. And then when she no longer serves their purpose, they just quickly and easily discard her. And so that's what I feel like this guy is doing to Jaguar, as well as he issued a couple of threats. And he basically told her that from his conversations with industry insiders, that Jaguar will be getting sued if she keeps talking about other people's business and bringing up other people's names. So everything that I've said to you just now in the opening of this video, I'm going to prove to you, and I'm going to be showing you some slides. Now I have a second phone on the side where I'm going to be able to watch the comments and actually speak to you guys and interact with y'all in real time. So hopefully this stream will go over better than the past ones because I'm new to going live. So hey, Never Hungry Again. Hey, Pensy Lola. Hey, Kenyatta. Hey, Oyela. I like that you guys are always in my comment section supporting the work that I do. Okay, because when I start exposing people, their minions, all of a sudden they come out and say, "Oh, I've been a fan of your work up until now. So I'm right about everything I say up until I expose their favorite people." So I like that I have faces in the crowd that are people who outwardly and openly support my content. So shout out to y'all. Let's get into this. There's a lot to unpack here. It's scary. I'm not going to lie. It's a little scary because Jaguar been saying that people been following her and her life is in, threatened. And I feel like some of the things that this guy have said on his YouTube channel a couple of days ago, I think is going to make what Jaguar been saying kind of come true. Like, okay, this is creepy. And, anyway, so let's get into the proof. So, here's from his channel. It says Jaguar Wright, she's messing up again. And this was 9 months ago. So he's been reporting on the ins and outs, the highs and lows, the ups and downs of Jaguar Wright. And then he says a quick Harvey Weinstein update. So Harvey Weinstein, according to Google search, it says that Harvey Weinstein is an American former film producer and convicted sex offender. He and his brother co-founded the entertainment company Miramax, which produced several successful independent films, including Sex, Lies, and Videotape. So Harvey Weinstein had been accused by a number of successful, well-known actresses of sexual misconduct. And we've all heard about that. It's called the casting couch. Even before Jaguar came online exposing what she knows, there were a lot of other people who came online and exposed the entertainment industry. Everything from music to movies to sports, like the criminal behavior that for the most part men get away with, especially the sexual exploitation of women in those industries, is off the hook. It's like normal. And even though it's wrong, it's degrading, it's abusive, it's illegal, because of the brotherhood, the code of silence, people turn their head and pretend that all these horrible, terrible things are not going on. So they go on for a very long time. So it's not that Jaguar was the first person to expose it. I just think that she had the most industry experience to say that she was in close proximity to the bad behavior, right? So I think that's why Jaguar Wright came out and she had a lot of appeal very quickly, is because she literally was a recording musician who had a contract and all of that. So it's like, it's different when somebody who's on the inside tells you, yeah, all these horrible, terrible things are going on, versus somebody who's on the outside. Like myself, I'll tell you guys, look at the signs and symbols, but I'm just telling you that based on repetitive occult symbolism that we could prove has been documented to be demonic hand gestures and things like that, right? But I wasn't there. So here's a short video Davin Lewis posted of Jaguar Wright in the skies on her way to England 2 years ago, right? So I'm just showing you that for the past 2 years, Davin has been tracking Jaguar to a certain extent, constantly posting about her and keeping tabs on her. But he's also been antagonizing her the whole time, just like Sean Davy Way and Official King Payne. So it's like y'all are out here, when y'all talking about her, y'all are making it seem like y'all care, but really y'all don't. Y'all are industry people who are being quiet, about the terrible, horrible things that's going on in the industry as far as it goes with how women are treated. And they don't turn on, the men who's responsible. They turn on the women who expose. So here's another video from Davin Lewis 2 years ago. He posted about Jaguar Wright. It says Jaguar Wright goes off on Diddy again, and he posts his Cash App. Now, if you notice, this video he posted on Jaguar Wright got 262,000 views. That was 2 years ago. And he posted his Cash App. So he made a pretty penny off of this video if he was monetized, right? But let's just say that his channel is not monetized. He's always posting links to his Cash App and GoFundMe and this and that, especially in his Jaguar Wright videos. So a part of him tracking and following Jaguar is not just to antagonize her and make her seem like she's lying or whatever, but he's also capitalizing off of her, right? So this was in December of 2022, which was this is July, so that was 8 months ago. It says here on the Night and Day Network channel, Jaguar Wright goes off on Diddy's goon after he interrupted her talking about Kim Porter's death. So this was 8 months ago. Davin Lewis, after he had spent 2 years capitalizing off of Jaguar Wright's name on YouTube, Jaguar was live on the Night and Day Network channel. And Davin Lewis pops up and starts antagonizing her. He talks over her. He cuts her off. He was, arrogant and rude. And he was doing it on purpose because Jaguar was talking about Kim Porter's death, and Jaguar was connecting dots and speculating. I will say she was speculating that Diddy may have had something to do with Kim Porter's passing, because Diddy was her baby daddy. She had children by Diddy. And as we know, Diddy is seen with all kinds of different women all over the place. So it doesn't seem that he was faithful to Kim Porter. And she had to keep a good face in public. She had to always look like she was happy and smiling, even though we could logically deduce, that something was wrong, right? So I'm checking out the comments. Yeah, Pinsy. Yeah, well, what I'm talking about right now is when Davin confronted Jaguar 8 months ago while Jaguar was on Night and Day Network live show, because the way he treated her, it goes to show that he was like trying to intimidate her, so the possibility of Jaguar being scared of him is potential. But I'm going to read to you guys from the transcript of this conversation, because she checked him in real time on what he was doing, right? So Jaguar was basically talking about the possibility of Diddy having something to do with Kim Porter's passing away. because it's been said that Kim Porter was going to write a tell-all book about Diddy. And as she was in the process of doing that, she suddenly passed away. And she seemed to be perfectly healthy. So it's like, oh, wow, this is very, what's the word? Like a coincidence, right? So I looked into who is this Davin Lewis? Why is he so interested in shutting Jaguar Wright down? And I looked on his channel, and you see right away from his oldest videos 10 years ago, he's promoting himself, Davin Lewis, at Bad Boy Entertainment, Daddy's House Recording Studio. All right. Below that, it says vlog number 2, Daddy's House Recording Studio, Davin Lewis. Hey, God Fear TV. So basically, Davin Lewis is a Bad Boy employee. All right. This is 10 years ago. He posted himself at Bad Boys Entertainment, Daddy House Recording Studio. So this is the reason why he's been following Jaguar Wright around the internet, reporting on her every move, capitalizing on her every move, but still criticizing her every move at the same time. Some more content from Davin's channel. 8 years ago, he posted, Remy Ma, welcome home. All right. 2 years ago, he got, let's see here, 80,000 views talking about Jaguar Wright on Diddy and Christopher Williams' homosexuality. Then he posted his Cash App, right? 2 years ago, Jaguar Wright goes off on Diddy again, posts his Cash App, 262,000 views. All right, Davin Lewis, 2 years ago, he says how Diddy ignored my pleas asking for help, a former Bad Boy employee. Now let's talk about this, right? I remember when Davin Lewis, it was during the pandemic. This guy, Davin Lewis, started making content saying that he was homeless in New York City because of the pandemic. He wasn't able to move around the entertainment industry and make money randomly like that. So he was saying that he's spent like 15 or 17 years as an employee of Bad Boy Records, and he feels that Diddy should just break him off some money so he could survive during the pandemic just off the strength of how many years of faithful service that he provided to Diddy as a Bad Boy employee. So in his own way, he was kind of exposing Diddy, saying, I was there for you. I worked overtime. I did way more work than I was paid for, but I was quiet and I was a good, submissive little worker for you, Diddy. And now I'm broke and you won't even help me out. You won't even give me $1. How Diddy ignored my pleas asking for help, a former Bad Boy employee. So if Davin got on YouTube and started to complain about how Diddy is not loyal and he overwork you, underpay you for years, and then he'll never help you out later down the line, why is he now still working for Diddy by harassing Jaguar Wright and telling her she needs to shut her mouth? I'm going to show you guys the transcripts of Davin saying things that's kind of scary and threatening towards Jaguar. He's speaking on behalf of the music industry. So it's like, why did Davin get on YouTube and start trying to sort of expose Diddy? And now he flipped the script and now he's like back sticking up for Diddy again. Okay, below that, Davin have a video. So let's talk musical theory and how Diddy and white CEOs use it. Okay, so when Davin was mad that Diddy was not giving him any money or anything, he started exposing how Diddy works with the white CEOs to use the music industry against the Black community. Below that, 2 years ago, he did a video, Jaguar Wright at it again, Diddy and Mary J. Blige. And you see he's laughing like he's kind of agreeing with her. And then he's like cringing and using the quiet symbol. So for people in the industry, it's like, oh, you're not supposed to be messy. You're not supposed to reveal any personal details about anybody that's in the industry, right? But again, because he was hurting for money, he was posting Jaguar Wright content to capitalize on it, as well as to kind of be a spy. So this is another screenshot from Davin Lewis' channel, just over the past couple of days, his most recent content. You see at the top it says, so someone told me I'm cut off from donations. I guess people let him know, you get on here and you go back and forth. You're flip-flopping. 1 minute you're for Jaguar Wright, next minute you're against Jaguar Wright. 1 minute you're against Puffy, next minute you're for Puffy. But you only doing all this stuff for money and for cash apps. So he's looking like a phony person. And the funny thing is he's also defending and upholding Official King Payne, who's been very phony as far as Jaguar Wright is concerned. And so it's very interesting. Why is this guy, Davin Lewis, he has this like heavy hood nigga type of accent. He claims that he's from all of these hoods like New York, New Jersey, Philly, all these places. But it's really giving homo thug. He's standing up for all of the gay men and he's putting down a black woman when he knows damn well that the industry does abuse people in different ways. So the video I'm going to be showing you guys transcripts from is this one he did 2 days ago. It says, Jaguar Wright, this ain't a diss vlog. It's just a real vlog. That was just 2 days ago. You see he's got the revolt sign behind him, which is Diddy's digital platform online. He's doing some weird demonic gang signs to show that his allegiance and loyalty is to Diddy and revolt. And he put that as the thumbnail as he's about to start threatening Jaguar Wright on behalf of the music industry. 4 days ago, he did a video, Just Hilarious may have just ended her career. Why would he say that? Because Just Hilarious took a stand that men are not women and that women are the gateway to life, that we give birth, and men could never do that. So he's going to take the side of the men who think they're women against Just Hilarious. This also shows Davin Lewis's character. He stands up for gay men. Below that, he says, comments from viewers upset that I promote my Cash App. Again, this is the problem with these gay men. They love capitalizing on black women, but they're going to stand up against black women at every turn. They don't want to see black women being honest, telling the truth, speaking out, speaking up. They just want us to shut up so they can be gay in peace. 9 months ago, this is when Davin popped up on Night and Day Network and started harassing Jaguar Wright while she was talking. 9 months ago, me, Leilani for God, I said Davin built his channel off exposing Puffy for using his free labor and then discarding him. Davin said he was homeless and hungry and that Puff should give him money because of how much he had already done for Puff. So that's the comment I wrote in the comment section once I noticed this guy Davin came up there and started harassing Jaguar. I said, wait a minute. This guy built his platform off of exposing Puffy. And now he up here trying to make Jaguar shut up about exposing Puffy. The whole video is from October 20th. So that's more than 8 months ago. That's about 10 months ago from now, today's date. So about 10 months ago is when Davin started going off on Puffy. Yeah, oh yeah, it's true. Diddy never paid his artists. Like, there's so many people. It's sad, you know. I remember when Diddy had the reality show on, like, I don't know, MTV or whatever. It was Making the Band. I watched the first season. There was a lot of them. There was like 6 of them, right? So Diddy put them through a whole bunch of humiliation rituals. But when it comes to how, like, his dirty business practices got exposed, I don't even think he realized that he was exposing himself. Diddy made his personal lawyer the entertainment lawyer for the whole Making the Band crew. That's a conflict of interest. Nobody's ever supposed to do that at any level of business. That's number one. Number two, he told them, it was like 6 of them. He told them that the 6 of them would have to share 3% of whatever profit they made as a group of entertainers. And I was thinking in my mind, if they make $100 profit, the 6 of them would have to share $3, 50 cents each for every $100 they make. And that's crazy. That's crazy. And I was thinking, shouldn't they be getting 2 separate checks? One for doing reality TV and one for doing music and performing. Because, okay, so there's money from being on TV. That's one check. There's money from public performances because they were traveling to other countries to perform. So that's another check. And then there's money from album sales. That's a third check. So I'm like, if Diddy's lawyer is their lawyer and they all have to share 3%, the chances of a lot of their checks disappearing is very high, right? It's just bad business. And I picked up on it, from the first season of that show. So for this guy Davin Lewis to feel responsible for protecting and defending Diddy, it go to show that he has a bad character. So here's some of the conversation that happened when he tried to overtalk Jaguar. He was saying that, oh no, Jaguar said, people got hurt. I was a part of that. So were you, apparently. See, let's not pretend like we don't know there isn't harm in this game, because there is. And it should go to artists that don't get to make it as far as I made it. They got all the horror stories, but none of the glory. So Jaguar was saying to Davin, me and you both know and participated in the awareness that a lot of people got hurt in the music industry, right? So she was trying to stop him from cutting her off by saying, Davin, don't play with me. We both know this game is fucked up. Don't come on here trying to overtalk me and shut me down when you know. Because Davin said he was with Bad Boy for 17 years. So he had to sit back and watch Diddy give out all of those bad deals to all of those people, some that we never even heard of. Right? So at least Jaguar is keeping it real. And then so Jaguar was saying, the victims have horror stories, but they don't get none of the glory, And Davin cut her off and said, it's two different points. That's your point. When you responded in 1994 and 1995, listen, we got to have a rhetorical conversation, or is this just you talking? And then Davin goes on to say, what I'm saying is just in defense, right? So he's cutting her off saying, oh, there's two different points. So Jaguar is the one who has the floor to make her point. And her point is that Diddy has maybe some hand in Kim Porter's passing. He comes up and tries to say, oh, there's two different points to be made here. You've been talking about this since 1994, or you're talking about 1994 and 1995, and we just need to have a conversation because what I'm saying is just in defense. All right? So this is a lot of deflection. Jaguar is talking about Kim Porter passing away in the past 1 or 2 years. And I think, it was fairly, recent because this conversation happened almost a year ago. So why is Davin coming up trying to say he wants to give a different viewpoint in defense, and Jaguar's talking about stuff that happened in 1994, 1995? That's gaslighting, deflecting, trolling. He's sabotaging her conversation and with a whole bunch of jibber jabber. Right? So Jaguar says, as she got older, it started making me sick. Why the F are we sitting here and we know that there are predators in this game? We know it. They've been around forever. And then the new ones get indoctrinated and the new ones get ordained, and they keep doing the same blank over and over again. So Jaguar's trying to convince him. We know the industry's messed up. Stop trying to shut me down. This keeps going on. People come in, they learn from the old people, and then they become predators too. So basically, this is Davin Lewis. He sat back for 17 years. He watched how Puffy and the other industry people operated. And now he's part of that. He wants to be quiet and let it continue. Davin doesn't want to put an end to the abuse of women, and not just women, men too, in the music industry. Men get sexually violated and financially violated, just like women do in the music industry. So she stopped what she was talking about, which was Kim Porter, and now she's trying to convince Davin Be honest. Stop pretending that there's not terrible stuff going on. So she's really trying to plead with him to just be honest, right? So Jaguar was saying these people keep doing the same crap over and over again. And one of them said, I got a little bit more than 60 seconds. What kind of person am I to know that these people are out here doing this and hurting people and harming people and ruining people and doing all of this? And I'm not going to speak up, and I'm not even going to speak up. And I've seen it happen. So again, because of the fact that Davin keeps interrupting her, he won't let her talk for more than 60 seconds. He keeps butting in like he has ADHD, some type of mental health issue that prevents him from listening. So she keeps trying to plead with him. How many times? She just said 3 times in a row. Davin, you know that there's predators in the industry. You know that there's victims. You know this stuff goes on. Why does she have to keep saying that to him? Right? And then 2 days ago, he had the nerve to make a video talking about Jaguar Wright. This is not a diss vlog. It's a real vlog. Hey, you lost one. So now he's finally taking off his mask and letting her know that he was never on her side, that he never had her back. He was never trying to help her. He was always trying to antagonize her and stick up for the industry to continue to be demonic and abusive. So here goes Davin Lewis's video from 2 days ago. He says, I mean, you know what I'm saying? I just want to get on camera real quick and talk about a few things real quick. One of those things being Jaguar Wright. As many of y'all know, for a better part of, 3 years since I've been on here vlogging, I've always held Jaguar Wright in high regard. Really have. I want to say this, right? I've supported her. I support what she does. I've hoped that this is all about saying the right words. Just give me a moment, because I don't want to go too far out the line and make it look like I'm being a bully or something like that, because I'm not. All right. So right away, as soon as he starts the video, within the first minute, he says, for the better part of 3 years, he's been vlogging about Jaguar Wright. He claims that he's held her in high regard, which he hasn't. He's been antagonistic towards her agenda. And he says he supported her in what she does. And he says he doesn't want to go too far and look like a bully. But that's exactly what he's going to do in this video. He's going to make some statements that I would say is bullying, fear-mongering, and intimidation. So he goes on to say that, he said, guys, you guys have seen me come on here and defend Jaguar Wright, and it's been to my detriment. It's caused for some people to unsubscribe to me once they hear me mention her name. It is, of course, for some people not to donate to me anymore because I mentioned a name. Only the fact that what I saw was a sister and helped. Like I said, I'm not here to be malicious. That's not my thing. And so when I was talking and when I was moving along here and having this conversation, I ran into this brother named King Pain. And I have followed King Pain for a while now. All right. So he establishes that he's a fan of King Pain. Then he goes on to say, remember, Jaguar, I remember the subject we were talking about. That's not for anybody to know. The problem is here, sweetheart, and I'm going to say this to you very clear, and I hope you hear this, okay? I just got off a phone call, and I know that person's going to show up here in a few minutes. I just got a phone call because someone that I had told, how can I say it? Someone I told in the industry, I said, yo, check this guy out. I'm not going to say who that person is. I think he got some talent. You understand what I'm saying? I do this all the time. People that know me, they know I do this all the time. I sing. I'm one of the first people that was talking to Scarlett before she even popped in New York. You understand what I'm saying? So I do this all the time. You know, I see certain personalities. I see certain people. I bring it to the attention to certain individuals within the industry or whatever the case may be. So he's establishing that he's an industry insider, that he recently had some help, helping hand in the career of this new artist that they're promoting called Scarlett. He's saying that he just got off the phone with an industry person, and they have some things that they want to say to Jaguar. So he goes on to say, you had the opportunity to be something totally different than what you're doing right now. And I'm disappointed. And the reason I'm disappointed is before you got out, before you even got arrested, I was suggesting these same things. I had direct interaction with Jaguar. This is not like somebody talking third person or vicariously. My name is Davin Lewis. 17 years with Bad Boy Entertainment. 3 different distributors. Atlantic, BMG, you can verify me. I'm very easy to verify. I'm going to very few people on here, and I always like them. A big face, Gary from Rockefeller Records, Choke No Joke from Rockefeller Records, Star from the Star Report, Atlantic Records, which was also one of our distributors at the time. I'm of that ilk of those gentlemen that actually lived the experience. We were actually there at the time. So a lot of these things were transparent. Now, one of the things I wasn't there for was Jaguar Wright. He said, who the fuck are you to say something about me? Yeah, you better listen. I got off a probably 45-minute call tonight. No, it wasn't Choke No Joke or whatever you think. Quite frankly, at this point, the person said, yo, I just watched that live from your men's, and Uncle said who it was. I'm not saying if it's somebody else, but it was like y'all just watched that live from y'all man's. It was crazy. I said, yeah, that's what they're saying. Did you know? And this is somebody you should be worried about. Let's put it that way. Okay? So he's telling Jaguar, I just got off of a 45-minute phone call with somebody that you should be worried about. He said they ain't too pleased, Jackie. They need to plead the rule. You have opened up Pandora's box. So now people are looking for other videos and other things that you have said previously prior to this. You know what I'm saying? And it's scary for some people. The pure, he said, I'm saying it's scary for some people because the pure simple fact that they didn't know that you had said the things that you had said. Now, Talib Kweli and his punk ass, he has something to say. The other day, and I'll say don't pay attention to that sucker ass nigga. Shout out to Mos Def though, but that nigga's a sucker. Okay? So basically, Davin Lewis is saying he just got off a 45-minute phone call with somebody in the industry. He don't want to say their name, but it's somebody that Jaguar should be worried about. They are not pleased. They have said Jaguar has opened up the Pandora's box, and now people are looking for other videos and other things that Jaguar has said prior to that, and it's scary because people didn't know. And he says he's not even talking about Talib Kweli. He said the reason he would look at it the way he would look at it is because of who you've become. You're not a musician no more, Jaguar. You're a gangster. I say it for you again. You're not a musician anymore, Jaguar Wright. You're a gangster. You're a grifter. And some would say a robber now. And you traded all the talent that you had. And don't give me like I'm coming at you bad. I was down with you until the wheels fell off, until you did this right here. And I said, well, you lost all credibility with me because now you look like a fraud. And now all these people out here saying you took money from them. This woman is calling into the shows and talking about how you got over on her after she gave you $1,000 here, $1,000 there, a couple of $100 or whatever. So now Davin is establishing that now that he got this phone call from this industry insider, and they are not happy with Jaguar, now he's going to say, I'm turning my back on you, Jaguar, because you've been scamming people. No, Davin, you're turning your back on Jaguar because you support the industry. So Davin goes on to say, I did a whole hour and a half. I think it was, I went to look up and saved it just so you would see. I'll share it later on. I said, if you do this one more time, it's over. It's over. Nobody's going to mess with anything you do now. You got to do independent. There's going to be some people who's going to try to throw a monkey wrench in that too. They've done it to me before, but I told Jaguar, that time you started talking about, well, let's just say Miss Kim, okay? Let's just say Miss Kim that's connected to a very big personality that happens to be connected to my vein. You understand? That's all I need to say about that. We don't need to talk too much. I'm not here for the gossip. I'm here to just talk to you. And so you understand why I'm taking the position I'm taking. And so you understand why I can't advocate for you any longer. All right. So Davin finally reveals somebody that Jaguar might know who he's talking about that's not pleased with Jaguar. He's saying that it's Miss Kim. And Miss Kim is connected to a big personality that happens to be connected to his vein. So whoever is paying Davin Lewis to come after Jaguar, that's why he's saying this person is connected to his vein. Because what would it be other than somebody that's giving you food, clothes, and shelter? Like, how else is this person connected to your vein? Unless you're talking about, your intimate relationships. Some man that you're dealing with that's mad at Jaguar now, that's connected to your vein. I don't know. But Davin is making it very clear right here that it's somebody that he's very personally close to in the industry that has finally had it with Jaguar Wright. So he goes on to say, and so you understand why I'm taking the position I'm taking. And so you understand why I can't advocate for you any longer. Now, think what you want to think or whatever. If you know, like I know, I come from the vein to Sean Perez, James Cruz, and you know who they were. I don't need to say anything more. And so your name is buzzing now because one person saw a video. Now a couple other people saw videos of you jagging. They didn't really think nothing about it. He's like, oh, she's talking about her. Don't worry about it. It's always what she's talking about. Don't worry about it. It's a possibility. But when you start talking about certain individuals, I can't help you. Those individuals gonna do what they want to do regardless. So I'll say like this, Jag, it's been fun. It's been real. It's not, you can say right now because of your assumption and your addiction on, if not directly screwing people over, indirectly screwing people over, or maybe just your temperament. Okay? Of everybody's against you because of what you've seen in the tirade of what you have created. You came back gossiping, and it's far for me to remove my soul because I started here on YouTube almost 3 years ago. Now to quite a bit of a pickle myself. And at that time, I talked. In case you guys don't know, I talked about how I had a discrepancy with my bad boy brothers and Diddy at the time because I felt they just wasn't putting in the effort that they should be. Now, since we've gotten past that, obviously you know what I mean. Apologies. All right. So at this point in the video, Davin Lewis is saying, Jaguar, I can't advocate for you no more. You have now pissed off people that I'm very close to, and there's certain individuals that I cannot protect you from. And you've been gossiping too much. Even though I did it, I made peace and apologies with Diddy. All right. So he goes on to say, apologies were made on both parts. Hands were shaking on both parts. So that means After he said Diddy was bad, he went back and he fixed up the relationship with Diddy. And he goes on to say, and a lot of people truly didn't understand you, but it ain't the same for you. See, you talk so much that a lot of people ain't gonna forgive you. And as they start getting wind and more because of this internet thing and more people's involvement in it, then that and all of these different places that Revolt TV, All Deaf Digital, a couple of others. Now you pay attention to me because you know how we talk. I can't talk to you that way, or yes, it's too obvious. But if you hear this, Jaguar, listen to me. You were creating an atmosphere now that cannot be controlled anymore because your name, when it's associated with anything online, most of the time it's with a negative connotation. And that's a bad thing for you. Okay? That's a bad thing for you. So I'm not here to this show. I'm not here to talk shit about you. To be quite honest with you, I'm quite surprised about what was done and how you came out of this. That boy King Pain helped you. He helped you significantly when no one else would. He bailed you out of jail. This was your third time being in jail. Okay? So he's going on once again to defend King Pain. He says, he bailed you out of jail. This was your third time being in jail. If you were a guy, they would have kept you the first time. It's not fair. And so at the Warrior Tirades, we've defended you, even though no one has a little something going on here. But you know what? That's Jaguar Wright. We love her. I want to see her make it. See, I think if anybody was advocating for you, it was that man and myself. Shout out to King Pain, man. But I can't do it. I can't do it because, see, if I do it any longer and I take up, will you defend you or whatever the case may be at that point? Now I look stupid. I don't want to say his name, but there's about 4 people from my camp. Now they know what you've said. Out of those 4 people, one of them counts. And I didn't tell you this. I didn't tell on you. I didn't snitch on you. I didn't bring the videos or the things you said to their attention for retaliation or something on behest of a campaign or anybody else. It just naturally happened. When I was questioned about it, somebody brought up the fact of, yo, ain't this the chick you mentioned before? I say, yeah, but I had mentioned you in a good light. Pay attention. And so they got the correlation together, Jaguar. And they said, oh my God, yo, what the F? And they were shocked to see this is the truth. You better listen to me. It is true. I'm not lying to you. These are the glory because they get on here and lie to you. I have no reason to lie. So basically at this point, Davin is saying, in addition to Miss Kim and the other people who don't like what Jaguar is saying about him, now Davin's going on to say there's 4 people and one of them counts. So now there's another big wig that Davin is saying, I didn't snitch on you, Jaguar. I didn't tell them what you were doing on YouTube. However, he had conversations with these people about what Jaguar is doing on YouTube to the point where he's able to now come back and say, oh, Jaguar, these people are now they're mad at you. Now these people are on your ass. Now they're looking for videos to use against you. He says, you better listen to me. I'm not lying to you because they get on here and lie to you. I have no reason to lie. Actually, I'm doing you a service right now, okay? He said, I'm doing you a service right now. I never met a lot of Billy badasses in the world. You understand what I'm saying? The last time I checked, you got one gun. And you go to sleep, you go to eat breakfast, you walk around, and that could be a problem for you. And I think the whole time you were doing this whole charade to become popular, not just take away from anything that you said, because some of the things you probably said have some significance to them and some validity to them. I won't take that away from you, some of the things you said, but in all, sweetheart, a lot of the shit you said, as we say here in the New York City tri-state area, was complete chuck, Jaguar Wright. And I'm here on this very last time to offer you a bit of silence for you to consider. All right? So up to this point, he's letting her know there's more than one big person in the industry that's on to you. And this is my last time trying to get you in check, Jaguar. I'm offering you a bit of silence for you to consider. He said, Jag, if I were you, I wouldn't say any fucking thing else about anybody. Currently, previously, or potentially future, being in the music business. I don't think it'll work out for you. I think you stand the possibility, and I'm not talking about mothers or nothing like that, but I think you will probably rank the possibility of being brought into a courtroom. And at that time, you're boarding that courtroom, and you know, and I know just as well, I need money now. You understand what I'm saying? I need money, and that's one of the problems, and why I'm doing this podcast too. Because I have to rescind my advocacy for you in this last bit of a gesture I'm doing, and I'm going to get into why I'm sending my application for you. Now, he lets out a lot in this particular piece. He's telling her, I'm offering you a bit of silence. If I were you, I wouldn't say any fucking thing else about anybody in the music industry. He says, I don't think it'll work out for you. He says, I'm not talking about mothers or nothing like that. That's a little indirect threat saying, we're not going to hurt your mother. He says, but you will rank the possibility of being brought into a courtroom. And he says, and at that time, you're boarding that courtroom, and you and I know. So he's saying they might sue you, and they might use suing you to confront you when you're going into the courtroom in real life. And then he says, you know just as well, because I need money. Now you understand what I'm saying. I need money. That's one of the problems and why I'm doing this podcast too, because I have to rescind my advocacy for you. So he basically saying he's been paid off. He's going to get a Revolt TV podcast that he's going to get paid to do in exchange for him turning on Jaguar Wright. Because he needs money. That's called a sellout. So he says, before I do that, I want to offer you one last gift and one last part of consultation and counsel. He says, yeah, remember, I'm a professional. Hey, my name is Davin Lewis. I'm professional. Remember, that's how I'm known. And so, and like I said, the same old game, have to be very careful with my words. You created an environment that's very dangerous for yourself and for your girlfriend. Okay? Davin Lewis just said to Jaguar Wright, you created an environment that's very dangerous for yourself and for your girlfriend. She don't know what's going on. She didn't know this, like that we've lived this life that we've lived before. She didn't know anything about it, and a lot of people try to deduce my position as I was in the company or whatever the case may be. Make no mistake about it. I was around, make no mistake about it. Everywhere that Puff went, in every city that all these guys went to, we were at. You understand? The events, the hotels, the performances, the concerts, everything. We were there. The accumulation from the beginning of Black Rob, but I was definitely there. Part of the launch of Black Rob and promoting it. All right, guys. So I just read to you just the parts of, him talking. He talks a lot. He uses a lot of words and doesn't say much. So the reason why I read y'all so much of the screenshots, those were the bits where he really was telling that he's been snitching on Jaguar in exchange for money. He's about to get a Revolt TV podcast, which is Diddy's company, and he has to now turn his back on Jaguar because there are people who are now going to start coming after Jaguar legally and possibly personally. And her girlfriend has no idea what kind of trouble she's in by being associated with Jaguar. All right. And you see him right here with the Revolt sign, which is Diddy Podcast, doing some little gang signs or whatever. He's endorsing King Payne, who we know have turned on Jaguar. He's endorsing Diddy, who we know does bad business stuff. It just seemed like he's in the devil's network. He's taken the code of silence, and he's not going to say anything about any of the bad stuff that happens. And in fact, he's going to step up, and stop people like Jaguar from exposing the industry. So the short version of when he started cutting Jaguar Wright off is on Night and Day Network channel. The video is called Jaguar Wright Goes Off on Diddy's Goon after he interrupted her talking about Kim Porter's death. That was from December of 2022. Now, a few months after that, Night and Day Network did this video. Jay-Z former friend D. Haven responds to phone calls not to deal with Jaguar Wright. So D. Haven has made his own videos exposing Jay-Z, that they came up in the music industry together. At some point, Jay-Z just completely turned his back on DeHaven. So DeHaven started to expose Jay-Z. So when Jaguar started talking about Jay-Z, people were saying that her and DeHaven should meet up and talk and share notes, right? And then DeHaven was saying, people started contacting him saying, don't talk to Jaguar Wright. So even though DeHaven was talking his own stuff for years, once he started trying to link up with Jaguar Wright, that's when the industry hit him up. Like, nope, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Here goes Uncle Ron, claims he got jumped by Beyonce's beehive. Below that, it says, did Jay-Z and Beyonce's goons get to X bodyguard? So Uncle Ron was a bodyguard, I guess, for Jay-Z and Beyonce. And he recently started to expose bad business deals and how the industry takes advantage of people. And he got beat up real bad and put in the hospital. Below that, it says, tale of a bodyguard. Jay-Z and Puffy wanted what? So as soon as Uncle Ron started to expose his knowledge as a bodyguard on Jay-Z and Puffy, he got beat up. Gene Dill was also a bodyguard for Puffy. He's been exposed in the music industry, including Puffy channel, for years. Here it says, Gene Deal said, I saw Puffy go into a hotel room with a famous male rapper for hours. At the bottom, it says Gene Deal on Puffy getting caught buying butt plugs and how he got mad at him for asking something. Okay, so Gene Deal is spilling all the beans on the homosexual activity of Puffy and how Puffy uses his, I guess, position in the music industry as a gatekeeper to sexually and financially, take advantage of other artists, males and females. So Gene Deal was spilling the beans. So keep in mind, this is who Davin Lewis is trying to stand up for. Davin Lewis was down with Puffy for 17 years. Davin Lewis said he'd been on tour. He was there ever since Black Rob. Black Rob came out with that song, like, whoa. Now, one of the lines from that song that stood out that kind of make you feel uncomfortable, Black Rob says, finger near a nigga asshole, like, whoa. So he's saying that he really liked getting his butthole played with somebody's finger in that song. So for Davin Lewis to say he's been with Bad Boy ever since Black Rob, yeah, ever since the guy who rapped about fingers in his asshole, he's been with Puffy on tour for 17 years. The same guy that the bodyguard is saying Puffy was going in hotel rooms with male rappers and butt plugs. Okay, Davin Lewis is upholding King Payne, a homosexual. All right, so it looked like Davin Lewis had did his devil rituals, and he's going to maintain the status quo. All right. So for Davin to sit there and try to stand up for King Pain and put down Jaguar Wright after King Pain have said 2 years ago that Jaguar Wright is a lying, manipulative, narcissistic person. And then, of course, Sean Davy Way recently said he's dumping Jaguar and having nothing to do with her no more because the bag is secured. The bag is secured, right? So even though Sean Davy Way and King Pain have said in the past few days they're not dealing with Jaguar Wright no more, they put in her name in their titles every day. They're going live like 2, 3, 4, 5 times a day on different platforms. And they're saying that they didn't make that much money off of Jaguar over the past year or two, that they've made over 100 videos about her. So first of all, their channels are monetized. So they did make money off of her. That's number one. Number two, during the videos that they did about Jaguar, they received Cash Apps, PayPals, Venmos, crypto. They received people join their memberships on YouTube, and people join their memberships on other platforms that they have to pay for outside of YouTube. So there's multiple ways in which they made money off of Jaguar Wright. If you go back and look at each and every one of those videos, they got money every single time they made videos about Jaguar Wright from the audience and the memberships. So all of that has to be factored in. So the fact that even now that they saying they're not dealing with her no more, and the hypocrisy. All right, guys. So if we're going to be honest, let's be all the way honest. You can't just drag Jaguar and not pay attention to how these men, particularly these gay men, work together to keep the industry going. Okay? They're not working together to solve any problems. They're working together to put Jaguar down, to discredit her, so the things that she was saying that would disrupt the industry get swept under the rug. Okay? Someone had put a comment. They said they laughed and mocked her the entire time she was locked up, especially Sean Davy Way, who came straight out and said that he wasn't going to do it. But the minute she was bailed, then he became the hero behind closed doors. Jag knows both of these guys played in your face. But girl, love who you choose. I watched both of these guys just for the foolery of it all, because I couldn't believe men could be so conniving in our face. Now King Pain, somewhere searching for a friend, and Sean Davy Way is laughing all the way to the bank, still wearing sheep's clothing. And someone else replied and said, and look at the video of Sean Davy Way just dropped, dogging Jag. He's straight up yelling and saying Jag is dead to him. Of course she's dead to him after he secured the bag, because that's all he ever cared about. Once the bag is like, okay, it's not as profitable as it used to be, we don't need to keep messing with Jaguar. So I just want to point out to you guys, the music industry, satanic, demonic, homosexuals, they want to shut women down. They want to take women sexually, financially. They want to take men sexually, financially. This is all the reasons, well, some of the reasons why God destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah. They want to uphold the devil's network. All right, guys, remember to like the video, share, subscribe, support my channel. My Cash App is Leilani for God. My PayPal and my email address is leilaniforgod@gmail.com. I'm going to be doing some videos for you guys on MK Ultra, mind control, rock and roll music. What else? I have a whole bunch of stuff planned for you guys. I also want to do a video to try to break Jaguar Wright's mind control program. She's under a very specific program, and I've been meaning to make a video about it for a long time. See if we could break that spell that she's under. But for now, guys, stay close to God, stay blessed. It's the Sabbath, Shabbat Shalom. As long as you have a good relationship with God, none of these devil people cannot do anything to you. All they can do is use their words to threaten you, to scare you. They have goons, little devil minions that will try to scare you. But if you're close to God, you got the armor of God on, they will never be able to hurt you. Everything that they do, you know that old folks saying, when you dig a grave for one, be careful before you fall right in it. All right? So don't be scared of the devil people. You're only supposed to be fearful of God. That's it. God made everything, including the devil. So don't let the devil deceive you. Stay close to God. Stay blessed. I'll see you in the next one.